Hi all, Deborah Roth here, back with the fourth installment in my year-long series celebrating seasonal festivals around the world. And a few weeks ago, I focused on kind of general spring celebrations. And this time, we've got some really lovely energy coming up with May Day. Everybody knows May Day on May 1st has all kinds of really powerful ancient symbolism behind it, and I'm going to share a bunch of it with you. Like so many of these, the solstices, the equinoxes, what we call the cross-quarter days, which is what May Day is. It falls halfway between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. All of these are celebrated around the world, and in this case, May Day is known as May Day. Beltane in the Celtic traditions from long ago. Floralia, sounds like flowers, right? In ancient Rome. Walpurgisnacht in the Teutons countries in Europe. And then Lay Day, as we know, lays are necklaces of flowers in Hawaii. And it really so beautifully embodies the really bawdy, exuberant, exhilarated energy of spring fever. And you can experience that if you really have fun with some of these rituals I'm going to share with you, some ways to celebrate it. To give you a little heads up, if you've ever, and as a kid, I actually did this. I can't believe my elementary school did this, but I have vivid memories of dancing around the maypole with ribbons, and you weave back and forth all the, everybody is weaving their ribbons closer and closer to each other, or a flower-filled May basket, if you ever did that. And the maypole, so the maypole was often done around a hawthorn tree. I am actually in Florida, Naples, Florida right now at a dear friend's house. This is not a hawthorn, this is a viburnum, but I love that I'm able to do it outside, and the weather is of course gorgeous here, which I was able to do a couple weeks ago when I did my latest Inner Goddess Team video. I'm getting into this. I like being able to do this outside. Also, let's see, some of the other things that you might have heard of are celebrating with a May King and a May Queen, and they were the ones that sort of led you to the maypole. And it's really just a time that's it's too bad that we've lost some of these, because they really do capture this lusty month of May energy about that is about love and lust and flowers and frolicking in the meadows, and frankly, I think we could probably all use a dose of that right now, given the crazy weather of springtime anyway. So in early Celtic folklore, this was considered a time when the sun child, sun as in S-U-N, was born at the winter solstice. And he's now reached puberty, and he reaches out, he hooks up with the goddess in her maiden form, and he becomes her consort. He becomes the green man, it's called, or the horned god, which tells you how some of these beautiful ancient pagan traditions, or earth-centered traditions, have been demonized. Literally, the horned god became the devil, but originally it was this beautiful fertility-loving god, and their sacred marriage, as it was called, was symbolized pretty graphically with the maypole. The maypole being a classic sort of phallic symbol, right? And the ribbons that get wrapped around it, the phallic symbol, the maypole, was inserted into a hole in Mother Earth, very womb-like. So the idea was that young men and women would dance around the maypole, and as they did, as they wove back and forth, the ribbons would come closer and closer. They bring all these people, all these men and women, closer and closer to each other until they were like right up against the pole. And then they would run off, and mirroring the fertility of the spring, of the earth this time of year, they'd run off into the woods and make whoopee. So it's really a very sweet, powerful, as all these earth-centered holidays are, very sweet way to celebrate the fertility, the bawdiness of springtime. So here are some right-minded, as I like to call it, R-I-T-E, ways that you can tap into that lusty, exuberant energy. Some of which, you know, again, you've heard of. If you're able, I did this a couple times, years and years ago, to create your own maypole. I did it at my UU church. And that might be a little difficult if you don't have a lot of people there to kind of weave it with you. But if you don't, you can create a May bush from the Irish tradition. It could even be a bush like this viburnum behind me. And you would cover it with ribbons, with eggshells, with all kinds of things, with little notes that represent what your wishes are, what you want to literally bloom during this season up until the summer solstice. So try a May bush. Another one, and if I was someplace where I could use both my hands and where I had the props, you can make a May basket. Did you ever do that as a kid? I did. I can't believe I did these things growing up in upstate New York. And basically what you can do is take a piece of paper and roll it into a cone and then tape it, glue it, whatever, and then put flowers in it. You can make your own. You can do the DIY flower making from online. Or if you've got a garden, put your own fresh flowers in it and then drop it on someone's doorstep, a secret admirer. Or if it's in your own home, drop it at the bedroom door. And so when they open the door, they'll find this beautiful little May basket. So another idea, and a lot of these you'll see when it comes to these earth-centered traditions and these festivals, you can do them by yourself. You can create a May basket for yourself, honoring and the idea of self-love and the things that you cherish and that you want to gift yourself with and share with the world. And likewise for your family. If you've got kids, oh my gosh, and there are great books out there that tell you how to expand these things for your whole family. So one of the other ones, which I mentioned, you can crown yourself and your partner as May King and Queen, and you could make your own crowns out of flowers wound together, out of paper plates. A great project for the kids. Decorate it with all kinds of sequins and glitter and whatever else to make wonderful crowns. And then the idea is then you march to your May bush, if you've created a May bush, and everybody makes their wishes on the May bush. So yet another example of some fun things you can do for kids of all ages. And once again, if you're single, then make yourself a May King or a May Queen crown yourself and honor those things that your own gifts, and declare yourself. It's kind of a self-coronation. Declare yourself to be the marvelous monarch that you are. And the last one I'll share with you, and yes, all these things are fun and really lovely ways to celebrate this time of year. And one of the things that we can often forget with these, what I call them sacred play, that's what I always call my weddings, but I think really any ritual is a kind of sacred play where you are using symbols, you're using symbolic actions, which is really all ritual is, it's symbolic actions. And use this time to write a love letter, to remember that this is the time of year for honoring love. And sex too. So you could write a beautiful, maybe even a little racy love letter to your beloved or to yourself, and then read them to each other at the end of the day and go off and have some great sex. Any way that you can celebrate your body. I mean, it's no accident that wonderful song from Camelot that Julie Andrews sang in the original movie, The Lusty Month of May. I mean, they were celebrating this notion of fertility and running off into the woods and doing all these lusty, wonderful things. And so with any ritual, really, you then want to be able to ground yourself to make sure that you're not floating in the atmosphere somewhere after you're doing all this magical work. And kind of the more traditional things to do would be to eat dairy products, because this is the time of year when calves were being born and fed by their mothers. Oats was considered, so some oatmeal cookies were considered aphrodisiacs. So eat some oatmeal cookies and then go sow your wild oats. So have fun with it all. That's the idea with all of this that I love so much. That yes, it's got deep, powerful earthy roots, all of these celebrations throughout the year, these seasonal celebrations. But that doesn't mean you have to be somber about it. You can have fun creating this energy in your own life and within yourself. So enjoy and let me know how it goes. I'd love to hear your experiences with any or all of these wonderful May Day rituals. Happy May Day.